Crash landing. The starship Artemis shuddered violently, jolting Captain Sarah Chen from her fitful sleep. Warning klaxons blared as she stumbled to the bridge, her mind racing to process the chaos erupting around her. Status report, she barked, sliding into the captain's chair and bringing up the ship's diagnostics on her console. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Rodriguez, responded without taking his eyes off his own readouts. "We've suffered a massive system failure, Captain. Engines are offline, life support is failing, and we're being pulled into the gravity well of an uncharted planet." Sarah's fingers flew across her console, desperately trying to coax some response from the Artemis's systems. Any luck with the distress beacon? Rodriguez shook his head grimly. "Negative. Communications are completely down." Sarah allowed herself a moment of frustration before squaring her shoulders. They'd trained for this. "All right, people, this is not a drill. We're going to ride this bird down and pray we can stick the landing. Strap in and brace for impact." The next few minutes were a blur of noise, heat, and gut-wrenching terror as the Artemis plummeted through the alien atmosphere. Sarah called out commands, guiding her crew through emergency procedures even as she fought to maintain some semblance of control over their descent. With a bone-jarring impact, the Artemis slammed into the planet's surface. Sarah was thrown from her chair, her head cracking against a bulkhead. As darkness clouded her vision, her last thought was of her crew. Sarah awoke to the acrid smell of smoke and the hiss of sparking electronics. Groaning, she pushed herself up, fighting off a wave of dizziness. "Sound off," she called out weakly. "Who's still with me?" To her immense relief, she heard responses from Rodriguez and a handful of other crew members. As the smoke began to clear, Sarah took stock of their situation. The Artemis was a wreck, but the main cabin had held together. Outside the viewscreen, she could see an alien landscape bathed in the eerie glow of a purple sun. "Well," Sarah said, attempting to inject some levity into the situation, "I don't think we're in Kansas anymore." Over the next few hours, Sarah and her surviving crew worked to salvage what they could from the ship. The Artemis would never fly again, but they managed to cobble together some basic survival gear and portable communication equipment. As the alien sun began to set, casting long shadows across the vivid blue vegetation surrounding their crash site, Sarah called her team together. "All right, folks, here's where we stand," she began, her voice steady despite the gravity of their situation. "We're stranded on an uncharted world with limited supplies and no way to contact Earth. But we're alive, and where there's life, there's hope." She laid out a plan to establish a base camp near the Artemis, while sending out small scouting parties to explore their surroundings. "We don't know what's out there," Sarah cautioned, "so stay alert and stick together. Our priority is finding a source of water and any edible vegetation, and keep your eyes peeled for any signs of intelligent life. We might not be alone out here." As it turned out, Sarah's words were more prophetic than she could have imagined. On the third day after the crash, one of the scouting parties returned with astonishing news. "Captain," reported Ensign Takeda, her eyes wide with excitement and trepidation, "we've made contact with aliens, and they want to meet you." Sarah's heart raced as she processed this information. First contact. This was the moment every space explorer dreamed of, but few ever experienced. "Tell me everything," she said. Takeda described encountering a group of tall, life beings with iridescent skin and large, expressive eyes. They communicated through a combination of melodic vocalizations and bioluminescent patterns on their skin. Most strikingly, all of the aliens they had seen appeared to be female. "They call themselves the Zarkai," Takeda explained. "And they're dying, Captain. Their whole world is." Sarah frowned, her natural compassion warring with caution. "Did they say how?" Takeda shook her head. "Not exactly, but they seemed desperate for our help. They want to meet with our leader, with you, as soon as possible." Sarah considered their options. Caution dictated a more measured approach, but time might be of the essence if the Zarkai truly were in dire straits, and the possibility of gaining alien allies could be crucial to their own survival. All right, Sarah decided. We'll meet with them, but we go in prepared. I want a security detail and make sure everyone's armed. Let's hope we won't need the weapons, but I'm not taking any chances. As they trekked through the alien forest, following Takeda's directions, Sarah marveled at the strange beauty of this world. Bioluminescent plants pulsed with gentle light, and creatures that looked like a cross between butterflies and jellyfish drifted lazily through the air. Finally, they emerged into a clearing dominated by a massive crystal-like structure, and there, waiting for them, were the Zarkai. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Takeda's description hadn't done them justice. The Zarkai were tall and graceful, their skin shimmering with patterns of light that seemed to shift and change as they moved. Their eyes, large and multifaceted like those of Earth insects, reflected the starlight with an almost hypnotic intensity. One of the Zarkai stepped forward, her skin pulsing with a pattern that Sarah instinctively knew indicated both welcome and wariness. When she spoke, her voice was like music given form. "Greetings, sky-fallen ones," the Zarkai said, her words somehow translating directly into Sarah's mind. "I am Zareth, matriarch of the Zarkai. We welcome you to our world, though I fear you have arrived in our darkest hour." Sarah stepped forward, keeping her hands open and visible in a universal gesture of peace. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the starship Artemis. We come in peace and friendship. We've heard that your people are in trouble. If there's any way we can help, we'd like to try." Zareth's skin flickered with a pattern that Sarah interpreted as hope tinged with skepticism. "Your offer is generous, Sky Sarah, but I fear our plight may be beyond even your strange powers to mend. Our world is dying, poisoned by the very crystals that once gave us life and power." She gestured to the massive crystal structure behind her. "This is the heart of Zar, the last of the great power crystals that sustained our civilization for eons. But it is failing, and with it, our entire ecosystem collapses. We have perhaps one planetary cycle left before our world becomes uninhabitable." Sarah's mind raced, already considering possibilities. "I'm not making any promises, Zareth, but my people have faced and overcome great challenges before. If you're willing to work with us, to share your knowledge, we might be able to find a solution together." Zareth was silent for a long moment, her skin pulsing with rapid patterns that Sarah couldn't interpret. Finally, she spoke again. "Very well, Sky Sarah. We will trust in your words and your strange magic. But know this, if you or your people attempt to bring harm to the Zarkai, our vengeance will be swift and terrible." A ripple of unease passed through Sarah's team, but she held her ground. "You have my word, Zareth. We mean you no harm. We're explorers and scientists, not conquerors. Let's work together and see if we can save your world." As Sarah and Zareth clasped hands, or rather, Sarah's hand and Zareth's tendril-like appendage, to seal their agreement, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that she had just committed herself and her crew to a monumental task. The fate of an entire alien civilization now rested, at least in part, on their shoulders. But as she looked around at the strange, beautiful world of the Zarkai, and at the hope dawning in Zareth's otherworldly eyes, Sarah knew she had made the right choice. This was why humanity had reached for the stars, not just to explore, but to connect, to help, to be part of something greater than themselves. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Sarah was determined to face them head-on. The Zarkai needed their help, and in helping them, perhaps humanity would prove its worth to the wider galactic community. As the alien sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the clearing in twilight, Sarah turned to her team. "All right, folks," she said, a hint of excitement creeping into her voice despite the gravity of the situation. "Let's get to work. We've got a world to save." The quantum symbiosis. As the twin moons of the Zarkai world rose in the violet sky, Captain Sarah Chen found herself immersed in a sea of bioluminescent data. The Zarkai had granted her access to their central knowledge repository, a living database that interfaced directly with her mind through a neural link that defied human understanding. "This is incredible," Sarah murmured, her eyes unfocused as information flowed through her consciousness. Lieutenant Rodriguez stood nearby, monitoring her vital signs with a mix of fascination and concern. "What are you seeing, Captain?" he asked, his hand hovering near the neural link's emergency disconnect. Sarah's voice was distant, dreamlike. "Their entire history, Rodriguez, the rise and fall of their civilization, the secrets of their quantum crystal technology, and, oh, Captain," Rodriguez tensed, noting a spike in her brainwave activity. "I understand now," Sarah said, her eyes snapping back into focus as the neural link disengaged. "The Zarkai aren't just dying. They're unraveling at the quantum level." As Sarah explained her discovery to her team and the Zarkai elders, the gravity of the situation became clear. The Zarkai had evolved in symbiosis with the quantum crystals that powered their world. As the crystals failed, so too did the very fabric of Zarkai biology. "But that's not all," Sarah continued, her mind racing with possibilities. "The crystals aren't just failing. They're being consumed by something. A quantum parasite that exists outside of normal space-time." Zareth, the Zarkai matriarch, pulsed with patterns of distress. "You speak of the Void Eaters, Skysara. We believe them to be nothing more than legends, boogeymen to frighten younglings." Sarah nodded grimly. "Well, your boogeymen are very real, and they're eating your world from the inside out. But I think we might have a chance to stop them." Over the next few days, Sarah and her team worked tirelessly alongside the Zarkai, combining human ingenuity with alien quantum science. They converted the wreckage of the Artemis into a massive quantum resonator, designed to vibrate at a frequency that would disrupt the Void Eater's trans-dimensional feeding. But as they neared completion of their device, tragedy struck. A massive quantum tremor shook the planet, causing widespread devastation. When the dust settled, Sarah made a horrifying discovery. The tremor had created a tear in reality itself, and the Void Eaters were pouring through. "We're out of time," Sarah announced to the assembled humans and Zarkai. "We need to activate the resonator now, or there won't be a planet left to save." As the team rushed to make final preparations, Sarah pulled Rodriguez aside. "There's something I didn't tell the others," she said in a low voice. "The resonator needs a living mind to guide it, to navigate the quantum realm and find the Void Eater's weakness. Someone has to plug in, and they might not come back." Rodriguez's eyes widened. "Captain, no, you can't." Sarah cut him off with a sad smile. "It has to be me, Rodriguez. I've seen their world through the neural link. I'm the only one who can do this." Before Rodriguez could protest further, alarms blared across the compound. The Void Eaters had breached the perimeter. In the chaos that followed, Sarah saw glimpses of true horror, writhing tendrils of unlight that devoured everything they touched, leaving nothing but empty space in their wake. The Zarkai fought bravely, their bioluminescent weapons flaring against the darkness, but it wasn't enough. Sarah sprinted for the resonator, dodging grasping void tendrils and leaping over fissures in reality. She reached the control panel and began the activation sequence, her fingers flying over alien controls that had become as familiar as her own ships. As the resonator hummed to life, Sarah felt a moment of doubt. Was she really ready to sacrifice herself for an alien race she had only just met? But then she looked out at the Zarkai fighting desperately to defend their home, at her own crew standing shoulder to shoulder with their new allies, and she knew the answer. This was bigger than her, bigger than humanity or the Zarkai. This was about standing against the darkness, about proving that life, all life, was worth fighting for. With a deep breath, Sarah connected herself to the resonator. Pain lanced through her body as her consciousness was catapulted into the quantum realm. She found herself adrift in an ocean of possibility, surrounded by the incomprehensible forms of the Void Eaters. But Sarah was not alone. She felt the presence of the Zarkai with her, not just those fighting on the planet below, but all those who had come before. Their collective knowledge and strength flowed through her, guiding her through the quantum storm. With a thought that resonated across dimensions, Sarah struck at the Void Eater's core. Reality itself seemed to scream as the parasites were torn from their feeding grounds and cast into the furthest reaches of the cosmos. On the planet's surface, the assembled humans and Zarkai watched in awe as the sky lit up with quantum fire. The void tendrils disintegrated, and the tears in reality knitted themselves closed. As the light faded, all eyes turned to the resonator. Sarah's body lay motionless, connected to the humming machine. Rodriguez rushed to her side, frantically checking for vital signs. For a long, terrible moment, there was nothing. Then, with a gasp, Sarah's eyes flew open. "Did it work?" she croaked, her voice raw. Rodriguez laughed, tears in his eyes. "Yeah, Captain, it worked. You did it. You saved them." As Sarah was helped to her feet, she saw the world around her with new eyes. The quantum crystals pulsed with renewed energy, and the Zarkai's skin shimmered with patterns of joy and rebirth. Zareth approached, her entire being radiating gratitude. "Sky Sarah," she said, her mental voice thick with emotion, "you've given us back our future. The Zarkai owe you a debt we can never fully repay." Sarah smiled, leaning heavily on Rodriguez. "Let's just say you owe us dinner and call it even." As laughter, both human and alien, filled the air, Sarah looked up at the star-filled sky. She had come to this world by accident, a castaway on an alien shore, but in saving the Zarkai, she and her crew had forged a bond that transcended species. They had proven that humanity had something unique and valuable to offer the cosmos. Whatever challenges lay ahead, Sarah knew that they would face them together, humans and Zarkai, united against the darkness. The quantum renaissance. As the dust settled on their victory against the Void Eaters, Captain Sarah Chen and her crew found themselves at the dawn of a new era. The Zarkai world, once on the brink of collapse, now pulsed with renewed vitality. But with this renaissance came unexpected challenges and opportunities that would test the limits of human ingenuity and Zarkai wisdom. "Captain, you need to see this," Lieutenant Rodriguez called out, his voice tinged with awe and confusion. Sarah rushed to the makeshift command center they'd established in the shadow of the great crystal spires. What she saw on the holographic displays left her breathless. The quantum resonator, powered by the revitalized crystals, had opened a series of stable wormholes across the planet's surface. Through these shimmering portals, they glimpsed other worlds, other realities, some familiar, others utterly alien. "It's a network," Sarah murmured, her mind racing with possibilities. "A quantum highway connecting disparate points in space-time." Zaraeth, the Zarkai matriarch, pulsed with patterns of excitement and trepidation. "The Ancient Ones spoke of such pathways, Sky Sarah, but we believe them lost to the ages." As they studied the wormhole network, a startling discovery emerged. One of the portals led to Earth, not the Earth of Sarah's time, but Earth as it existed millions of years in the past. "Do you realize what this means?" Sarah asked, her eyes shining with the thrill of discovery. "We could prevent the catastrophes that shaped Earth's history, save countless species from extinction." But Rodriguez voiced the concern they were all feeling. "Captain, the temporal prime directive." "Doesn't apply here," Sarah finished. "We're not Starfleet, Rodriguez. We're explorers facing an unprecedented situation. The question isn't can we intervene, but should we?" The debate that followed was fierce, with valid arguments on both sides. The potential to right historical wrongs was tantalizing, but the risk of unintended consequences loomed large. In the end, it was a young Zarkai scientist named Ziliara who proposed a solution. "What if," she pulsed thoughtfully, "we use the network not to change the past, but to seed the future?" Her plan was audacious. By sending quantum-entangled particles through the wormholes to key points in Earth's timeline, They could create a subspace communication network spanning millennia. They wouldn't directly intervene, but they could leave breadcrumbs, subtle hints, and nudges to guide Earth's development. A cosmic long game, Sarah mused, a slow smile spreading across her face. I like it. The next weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Human and Zarkei scientists worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of quantum mechanics and temporal dynamics. They called their project Operation Butterfly, a nod to the chaos theory concept that small changes could have far-reaching effects. But as they prepared to activate the quantum network, a new threat emerged. The wormholes had attracted the attention of an ancient, spacefaring race known as the Architect Collective. These beings, more machine than organic, saw the wormhole network as a violation of the natural order. A massive Architect vessel appeared in orbit, its angular form blotting out the stars. Their message was clear: cease all operations or face annihilation. Sarah knew they couldn't back down, not when they were on the cusp of something revolutionary. But how could they stand against a technologically superior force? The answer came from an unexpected source. Ensign Takeda, the young xenolinguist who had first made contact with the Zarkei, had been studying the quantum crystal's bioluminescent patterns. Captain, she said, her voice trembling with excitement, I think the crystals are alive. Not just alive, sentient, and they're trying to communicate. This revelation changed everything. With Takeda's help, Sarah and Zaraeth made contact with the crystal consciousness. They learned that the crystals were not just a power source, but the living memory of the universe itself. Armed with this knowledge, Sarah hailed the Architect vessel. She spoke not just as a human captain, but as the voice of a cosmic alliance, humans, Zarkei, and the primordial consciousness of the quantum crystals themselves. Her words resonated across space and time, carried by the very fabric of reality. She spoke of unity, of the interconnectedness of all things, and of the limitless potential when diverse minds work together. The architects, faced with this unprecedented coalition, stood down. More than that, they offered to join the alliance, bringing their vast knowledge and technological prowess to bear. As the architect's ship landed on the Zarkei world, Sarah felt a profound sense of destiny. They had not only saved a world and unlocked the secrets of quantum communication, they had forged a cosmic alliance that would shape the future of multiple civilizations. The quantum renaissance had begun, and at its heart stood the unlikely partnership of a human starship captain, a Zarkei matriarch, and the living memory of the universe itself. As Sarah looked out over the assembled representatives of three vastly different species, she couldn't help but smile. This was why humanity had reached for the stars, not just to explore, but to connect, to grow, to become part of something greater than themselves. All right, folks, she said, her voice carrying across the gathering. We've got a universe to explore and a future to shape. Who's with me? The resounding cheer that answered her, human voices mingling with Zarkei bioluminescence and the resonant hum of architect technology, was all the answer she needed. The adventure was just beginning, the cosmic codex. As the alliance between humans, Zarkei, and architects flourished, Captain Sarah Chen found herself at the center of a discovery that would reshape the very fabric of the universe. The quantum wormhole network had revealed something extraordinary, a hidden pattern woven into the cosmic tapestry itself. It's like a universal source code, Sarah explained to the assembled leaders, her eyes alight with wonder. A cosmic codex that underpins reality. Zaraeth, the Zarkei matriarch, pulsed with excitement. The ancestral whispers spoke of such a thing, but we thought it mere legend. The architect representative, a being of swirling nanites named Nexus, chimed in with a resonant hum. Our calculations support this hypothesis. The universe is not just a physical construct, but a computational one. This revelation sparked a new era of cosmic exploration. The Alliance pooled their resources to create the Infinity Forge, a massive space station designed to study and potentially manipulate the cosmic codex. As construction of the Infinity Forge neared completion, Sarah received a disturbing report from Earth. The quantum breadcrumbs they had scattered through time had yielded unexpected results. Humanity had advanced far more rapidly than anticipated, unlocking technologies they weren't yet ready to wield responsibly. "We've created a temporal pressure cooker," Sarah realized with growing horror. Earth is on the brink of a catastrophic technological singularity. The Alliance faced a terrible choice: intervene directly, violating their principles of non-interference, or watch as humanity potentially destroyed itself. It was Ensign Takeda who proposed a daring solution. "What if we don't change Earth's past," she suggested, "but instead rewrite its future?" Her plan was audacious. By using the Infinity Forge to access the cosmic codex, they could create a quantum fork in Earth's timeline. One branch would continue unaltered, while the other would be subtly guided towards a more stable future. "It's not just changing history," Sarah mused, "it's sculpting probability itself." The project, codenamed Schrödinger's Earth, was their most ambitious undertaking yet. It required precision on a scale never before attempted, manipulating the very laws of quantum mechanics. As they worked, a new threat emerged from the depths of the cosmos. The Void Eaters, thought banished, had evolved. They returned not as mindless parasites, but as a hive mind of terrifying intelligence, intent on unraveling the cosmic codex for their own dark purposes. The ensuing battle spanned multiple dimensions and timelines. Sarah found herself leading a fleet of hybrid ships, quantum-entangled vessels that existed simultaneously across parallel realities. In the heart of the conflict, Sarah made a startling discovery. The Void Eaters weren't trying to destroy the cosmic codex, they were trying to repair it. The universe, it seemed, had a bug in its base code, a flaw that had allowed entropy to gain the upper hand. "They're not the villains," Sarah realized with a shock. "They're cosmic debuggers trying to fix a broken universe." This understanding changed everything. Instead of fighting the Void Eaters, Sarah proposed a radical collaboration. Humans, Zarkai, architects, and Void Eaters, four vastly different species united in the greatest programming challenge in cosmic history. The Infinity Forge became their shared terminal, a cosmic IDE where they worked to refactor the universe itself. It was painstaking work, requiring them to delve into the quantum substrate of reality, rewriting the laws of physics on the fly. As they neared completion, Sarah faced her greatest challenge yet. The cosmic update would require a living mind to serve as its catalyst, merging with the universe itself to initiate the changes. It was a one-way trip, a sacrifice that would save reality but cost the volunteer their individual existence. Sarah knew it had to be her. She had started this journey, crashing on an alien world, and now she would end it by becoming one with the cosmos itself. As she prepared for the integration, saying tearful goodbyes to her crew and allies, Sarah reflected on the incredible journey that had brought her to this point. From a lost starship captain to the linchpin of universal reformation, she had come further than she ever dreamed possible. "It's been one hell of a ride," she said, smiling at her assembled friends. "But the adventure's just beginning. For all of us." With those final words, Sarah Chen stepped into the cosmic compiler. There was a flash of light that transcended the visible spectrum, a surge of energy that rippled across every plane of existence. When it faded, Sarah was gone. But the universe, every universe, pulsed with new life and possibility. The cosmic code had been optimized, entropy pushed back, and the boundaries between species and realities blurred. In that moment, every sentient being across the multiverse felt a spark of connection, a hint of the vast, beautiful complexity that bound them all together. And somewhere in the quantum foam between worlds, the essence that was once Sarah Chen smiled. The cosmic renaissance had begun, and the greatest adventure of all awaited, the multiversal nexus. In the wake of Sarah Chen's cosmic integration, the universe pulsed with newfound vitality. But her sacrifice was not an end, it was a beginning. As the alliance of humans, Zarkai, architects, and reformed Void Eaters grappled with their new reality, they discovered that Sarah's consciousness had not disappeared, but expanded beyond imagination. "She's everywhere," Lieutenant Rodriguez gasped, staring at the holographic displays aboard the Infinity Forge. "And nowhere." Sarah's become a multiversal constant. Zora's bioluminescent patterns flickered with awe. The Sky Sarah has transcended. She is now the Cosmic Weaver. This revelation sparked a new age of exploration and innovation. With Sarah's omnipresent consciousness as a guide, the Alliance embarked on a journey to map and connect the multiverse itself. They called this ambitious project Operation Yggdrasil, after the world tree of Norse mythology that connected all realms. As they ventured deeper into the multiversal landscape, they encountered wonders beyond imagination. The probability cascades, regions where all possible outcomes of any event occurred simultaneously, creating breathtaking fractal realities. The mimetic dimension, a plane of existence composed entirely of ideas, where thoughts took physical form and battled for supremacy. The quantum bazaar, a trans-dimensional marketplace where beings from across the multiverse traded in exotic matter, impossible technologies, and bottled singularities. But with these marvels came new challenges. The optimized cosmic code had unintended consequences, giving rise to a phenomenon they dubbed reality quakes. These unpredictable events caused localized breakdowns in the laws of physics, threatening to unravel the fabric of the multiverse. To combat this threat, the Alliance created the reality anchors, massive structures that straddled multiple dimensions, stabilizing space-time and preventing catastrophic collapses. Manning these anchors required a new breed of cosmic engineers, capable of perceiving and manipulating quantum probabilities on an instinctive level. Ensign Takeda, whose linguistic brilliance had been key to unlocking the secrets of the quantum crystals, now found herself leading a team of these probability weavers. Their work was part science, part art, and part mysticism, a delicate dance of numbers and intuition that kept reality itself from fraying at the seams. As they worked to stabilize the multiverse, a startling discovery shook the foundations of their understanding. Hidden within the deepest layers of the cosmic code, they found evidence of intelligent design, not the work of a divine creator, but of an unimaginably advanced civilization that had come before. "We're not the first," Nexus, the architect representative, hummed in astonishment. "We're inheritors of a cosmic legacy." This revelation sparked a heated debate among the Alliance. Should they seek out these precursor beings, attempt to resurrect their lost civilization, or forge their own path forward, building on the foundations they'd inherited? The answer came from an unexpected source. During a particularly violent reality quake, Takeda's consciousness was briefly catapulted across the multiverse. In that moment of transdimensional awareness, she made contact with Sarah Chen's expanded being. When Takeda returned to her body, she bore a message from the Cosmic Weaver. "The multiverse is not a construct to be controlled, but a garden to be tended. Nurture diversity, cultivate wonder, and let 1,000,000,000,000 realities bloom." Inspired by this vision, the Alliance embarked on their greatest project yet, the multiversal nexus. This colossal structure, built at the convergence point of countless realities, would serve as a cosmic hub, a place where beings from across the multiverse could meet, share knowledge, and collaborate on a scale never before imagined. Construction of the Nexus pushed the limits of their combined technologies and sciences. They harnessed the power of collapsing universes, wove quantum entanglement on a cosmic scale, and developed new forms of matter that could exist simultaneously in multiple states of reality. As the Nexus neared completion, it attracted the attention of entities from the furthest reaches of the multiverse. Some came in peace, eager to join this grand experiment in cosmic cooperation. Others arrived with less benign intentions, seeing the Nexus as a prize to be claimed or destroyed. The Alliance found itself facing threats they could scarcely comprehend. The Entropy Swarm, a hive mind of quantum parasites that fed on collapsed probabilities. The Paradigm Shifters, reality hackers who sought to rewrite the fundamental laws of physics for their own gain. The Void Lords, eldritch horrors from beyond the boundaries of structured reality, drawn to the light of creation like moths to a flame. In the face of these challenges, the Alliance realized that they needed to evolve. No longer was it enough to be explorers, scientists, or even cosmic engineers. To safeguard the multiverse and shepherd it towards a brighter future, they had to become something more. Thus was born the Cosmic Conclave, a council of multiversal guardians, each member a hybrid of organic life, advanced technology, and pure energy. They were the pinnacle of cosmic evolution, able to perceive and manipulate the very fabric of reality itself. As the first gathering of the Conclave convened aboard the completed nexus, beings from across the multiverse watched in awe. Here, in this impossible place where a billion realities converged, the next chapter of cosmic history was about to be written. Lieutenant Rodriguez, now ascended to a form of pure energy, addressed the assembled entities. His voice resonated across dimensions, carrying the weight of all they had experienced and all that was yet to come. "We stand at a crossroads of infinite possibilities," he declared. "The multiverse is vast beyond measure, filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagining. But we are not alone. In every reality, in every timeline, there are beings like us, seekers, dreamers, creators. Today, we extend our hands, tentacles, probability fields, and whatever appendages you may have, in friendship and unity." As cheers and telepathic affirmations echoed through the nexus, a faint whisper of familiar laughter rippled through the cosmic background radiation. Sarah Chen, the Cosmic Weaver, watched over her friends and allies with pride. The adventure she had begun on a distant, dying world had blossomed into something greater than she could have ever imagined. The age of isolation was over. The era of multiversal communion had begun, and somewhere in the infinite expanse of existence, new worlds were being born, new civilizations were taking their first steps into the cosmos, and the grand dance of creation continued, eternal and ever-changing. The greatest story ever told was still being written, and every being in every universe held a pen.